G'day guys, how's it going? Konnichiwa, ni hao, buongiorno. What is happening? What's the story? Had a little week off last week. I took a week off. I didn't have a wee cough. Had a week off. I was busy. We had a lot of band practice going on. And the previous podcast, the Rewind Selector, took me ages to make. And it was great fun. So I thought I'd let that one just ride another week, because I want people to listen to it. But we're back. The gig was a success for anyone who wasn't there. And for everyone who was there, you know that it was not a complete success, but it was decent. It's been a cruisy day today. Got up pretty late. Watched The Truman Show last night. And it got me thinking. The Truman Show, when I was a kid, and I reckon I was probably about 8 or 9, I was convinced that I was in The Truman Show. Now, this is before the film even came out. I had a feeling that I was being watched constantly. Maybe not constantly, because when you're a kid, you're just running around acting a dickhead most of the time. But I have very vivid memories of thinking that certain lights in the house and clocks and stuff had cameras in them. Or I didn't know who I thought was watching or what it was for or anything like that, but I just had this sense that someone was just like keeping an eye on me all the time. So when I seen The Truman Show for the first time, I was like, oh my god, okay, I understand this. And it's a wicked film anyway. I like that movie. But I've been trying to work it out the last little while, how I got to that point where I thought that was happening to me. And the closest I can come up with is around that same sort of time at primary school. I think it was a Church of England school I went to. I'm not sure, but I've never had a religious upbringing. Secular parents, atheist parents. My dad definitely. What was I saying? Oh yeah. My train of thought just completely drifted off there for a second. But what I think it was, around that time at school, we used to do RE lesson, religious education. I believe it's called RS now, maybe, or religious studies, or it's called I don't know. I don't care either. But I think it's around that same age that I started to question whether God was real. I already know Santa Claus is a myth. Easter Bunny, fraudulent. So there was a doubt in my mind. Nothing was adding up properly. I can remember my dad sort of saying to me, just don't believe everything that you hear. And my mum was like, hey, don't be saying things like that. And I was like, hang on a minute. Something's going on here. And then we used to have to go to church once a week. And I remember Hannah Hodgson got to stay behind because she was Jehovah's Witness and play on the computer. Say, what? Sign me up for Jehovah's Witness, man. get to stay at school and play on the computer rather than going to sing hymns. Yes, please. So that was another thing. It was like, okay, so there's different avenues here. We've got church or we've got computer games. This is like pre-internet. So this is like, there was a game we used to play, man. I can't remember what it was called now. But it was almost like Lemmings, kind of. But it was like an educational one. You were like these little like bean-looking things. I can't totally remember it. But so yeah, I think around that time, I started to lose my, for want of a better word, faith in the big man upstairs. And I think in the back of my mind, I'd always been told God is everywhere. He is watching everything. He is omnipresent. He is omnipotent. He is ubiquitous. See me smashing out these big words. But yeah, I think that might be part of it. When your brain is forming very early on, the first 4 or 5 years of your life, the brain absorbs information differently. It's an evolutionary safety mechanism. So, as a child, toddler, you're sort of told, don't touch that, it's hot. Get away from that edge. Don't put your finger in the plug socket. Don't drink bleach. It's like it would be from an evolutionary point of view way back when it'd be like, keep away from the fire. Don't go near that animal. Don't touch this poisonous thing. And your brain just takes it on, and it just takes it as like absolute truth to protect you. So in those early days, when that is like, it's like hardwired into you, the brain takes it on with no question, and it takes it on as like absolute truth, so it can protect you from any danger. Now at that same time, you start in school at like 4 years old, is it 5 years old, you're also being told, hey, there's this geezer named Jesus, he's floating around in his sandals, skipping across water and like giving bare people a load of fish. And you're like, alright, what's going on? Yeah, his mum got pregnant just like by a miracle. And you're like, oh yeah, okay. And then you're just like, alright, cool. And that's that. Your brain just sort of goes, okay, fact. If you didn't teach religion until someone was like, 15, 16, then tell them the story and be like, hey, this is what's going on, no one will believe it, because you've got the cognitive ability to process that information and be like, nah, show me some proof. Oh no, you've got to have faith. No. Just give me one little bit of something that I can be like, okay, yeah, that's definitely what's happening. Oh, here's a fossil. Oh, okay, I can see that. I can feel that. Brilliant. Here's a dinosaur bone. Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that was ingrained into my brain of like, there is somebody everywhere watching you, so you better be good. It might be Santa Claus with the naughty and nice list. It might be God. It might be I don't know who else looks out for you. Easter Bunny or some shit. I don't know. But when I started to like turn away from those stories, I think I had that hardwired into me that someone is still keeping an eye on me, and I didn't know how to subconsciously process that. So I was like, oh yeah, look, my house is rigged with cameras. So I kind of had that going on. I don't know when it stopped, and I'm not really too sure when it started, but I just have this memory of sitting on the toilet in the bathroom on my own, and like looking at the light and thinking, that's where the camera is there, and giving it a little like wave to be like, I see ya, just letting you know I've figured it out. I thought I was so smart. So that was funny watching the Truman Show, man. It was like, you know, at the end there's obviously the big moral dilemma. Is that an awful thing to do to someone, to give them the perfect life, but they don't know about it, without giving them the choice? I'd say, well, these days you absolutely could not do it. 100%. The world is trying to get equality for everyone at the moment. And in fact, the old man's been at the poetry again. And I like these ones, man. He's gone for the classic remix of some of the old school nursery rhymes, aptly naming them woke nursery rhymes. He's bringing them in to the 21st century, and I like it because, firstly, where it partly shows up maybe some slight racial undertones, maybe, but it's more highlighting how absurd it's getting now with political correctness and stuff, you know, which is good to a point, you know, but I think we're being a bit silly with some of it. But I'll just give you a quick verse or two. We'll do Bar Black Sheep. Already the name. It's controversial at the moment, but here we go. Do you know what, actually? I think I might do this in like some cool like poet. Some cool poet sort of jazz voice. Bring a sort of air of mystique to it. Bar, sheep of colour, have you any material, brackets, that's not tested on animals, from which we may make some items of clothing? Yes, sir / madam. I have 3 ethnically sourced, reusable, recyclable bags for life full of the stuff. Then brackets. I use the term sir, madam as a sign of respect, not deference. Just want to let you know that I'm using both names as a sign of like, look, I can't name everybody, but I'm going to use both here. So take it as I'm trying to include. I'm not just saying there's just sir and madam, and it's like he, she, they, us, them, blah 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 blah. Right, back to the poem. Yeah, so what's that like? Yes, sir, madam, I have 3 bags full. However, I shall not be giving them to any so-called master and dame, as they represent a historic portrayal of inequality, subjugation and tyranny that has no place in the modern world. Instead, I shall be giving them to the person of short stature who currently identifies as a boy but has every right or left to change gender and or sexual orientation in the future should he, she, they so wish, who currently resides in a nondescript, responsibly insulated dwelling in a typical, average, everyday street. And there we go. That is the woke version of Bar Black Sheep, as written by Senior Crump Senior. It's funny. It's funny how all that's changing now. The future. Everyone's online. Everyone can see what everyone else is saying. Call everybody out for it publicly. A lot of people getting cancelled. A lot of people getting in trouble for saying something that they said like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If someone made a joke 10 years ago that is offensive today, one, like, it might not offend everyone, so shut up, innit? And two, you can't judge something from back then by today's standards. The current generation keep banging on that they're the most progressive generation to ever have happened. The most progressive, the most inclusive. Well, guess what? Every generation has been the most progressive generation. So it's like, stop shouting about it. Well done, but it's been going on for a long time. The internet is giving people a voice who definitely don't deserve it. Like me. Thanks for listening, you mugs. I grew up in a, I was still around, as many of the people listening to this are, I'd say. We was in that crossover period, pre-internet. I remember the internet sort of, I don't know, coming out, being released. What do you want to call it? I just remember the internet like happening, and didn't really believe it was doing what they said it was doing. Oh yeah, you can just like totally like just send a message to like Japan and they'll just get it instantly. Yeah, but not instantly. Yeah, man, instantly. Yeah, but like what? Like next day? Like that's fast. No, instantly. Like, what? So, yeah, I remember. I mean, you see kids today, and their internet is their whole life. They know everything about everything, which is part of the problem. I don't know. The internet's so great and so terrible all at the same time. You know, it's. I'm still part of that generation where when I see like tiny kids glued to the internet, and you're like, don't you want to climb some trees? Growing up, we never had no like flash computers, smartphones, all these crazy toys that the kids have got now. I can remember one toy I had. It was just literally a bit of plastic hose with like a little funnel on the end, and you used to just swing it around. And when you swung it round fast enough, it just would make this like whoa, 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 whoa. That was it. That was the whole toy, a bit of plastic hose. Great fun on that. Also around the same time as, do you remember them sticks that you just would turn upside down? They had the little bit inside that would move, and when you turn it up the other way, it go like ew, ew, ew. Remember them things? I don't know if they had a name. Hours of fun right there. Oh man, there was remember them snap bracelets as well? You'd be like, hey, look at this ruler, and then bang, wraps around the arm. Only joking, bro. Bracelet. Yeah, bracelet. Oh, what? Undo it. Yeah, ruler again. Don't be coming over here with your Xbox 360. You can keep that. I've got a Tamagotchi. I've got a Tamagotchi over here. Do you know I had a Tamagotchi, right? And I just wanted it because everyone else had one. I had one, and after a day, I was like, this is overrated. Don't know what the fuss was about. And then I swapped it with a kid in my street for his bike. I swapped it for a BMX. And then I think his parents and my parents might have had to discuss that. But everyone was happy with the deal in the end, because I remember I got to keep the bike, so Yeah, and I also remember spray painting it silver. Like I was just a kid, man. I'm just out there with a spray can making Evil Knievel bike. Then as you got older, you might get like some toys with like, you know, batteries or whatever. Bop It. Whoa, Bop It was a sensation. And a sensational game. Bop it. Tss, 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 twist it. Tss, tss, pull it. Man, I was on a camping trip last year. I can't remember who it was, but somebody there, their friend was the voice. No, their friend's dad was the voice of Bop It. Imagine that. Imagine your dad being the voice of Bop It. Bop it. Tss, flick it. Tss, fucking leave it. What was it? Bop it, pull it, twist it, flick it, spin it. It was a wee wheel, wasn't there? Just whack the wheel. So yeah, Bop It. That was no graphics card on the game of Bop It. Great fun. Then if you had like parents that would let you get away with a bit more, laser pen. I never had a laser pen until I was old enough to go to the city and buy one. But you used to have the gold laser pen, and then you'd get the changeable ends. You could unscrew the end and put another end on it. Then when you shone it on the wall, it'd be like an Umbro logo, or like the truck stop. You know, like that, the silhouette of the woman that all the truck drivers have. Or you'd have like skull and crossbones or something. I can't remember. You used to project it and it'd be massive. Yeah, everyone would be trying to shine it, you know, across the school field at someone else, blinding somebody, aiming it at aeroplanes or whatever. Yeah, I never got a laser pen until I was old enough to go and buy one. And by that stage, it wasn't that cool. Because I was like, oh, right, cool, it's got a laser on it. Brilliant. As also the same time, you might buy your first like novelty lighter. Ooh, big day that day. Yeah, I got a refillable one, bruv. Yeah. It's the shape of a grenade. What are you going to do with it? You don't smoke? I don't know. Just bought it because I can. I've got my own money now. Got a job at Travel Lodge. Oh, man. Some mad toys back then. Super Soaker. Never got a Super Soaker, actually. But I'd have loved a Super Soaker. I think I always wanted a BB gun as well, but my parents wouldn't let me have a BB gun. And I think rightly so. As I got older, mates started getting BB guns, and the amount of times someone almost got shot in the eye, or, do you know what I mean? It's like, if I had it when I was younger, I probably would have caused an injury to myself or to someone else. But I remember wasting many a night looking through the Bible. And I don't mean the actual Bible. When I'm a kid and I'm looking through the Bible, what I actually mean is the Argos catalogue. Oof, the Argos catalogue. That's a good night's entertainment. Start page 1. Just flicking through. I'm like 9 and I'm looking at office chairs. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at Breville's. I'm looking at, garden furniture. Because it would always be, price, like systematically ordered according to price, lowest first. So you'd look at the first page and you'd be like, well, that chair looks decent for £4.50, but I'm better than that. So when I get older, I'm going to have probably the £12.50. Never go for the cheapest, maybe the second, third cheapest. You don't want absolute tat, but you don't want to fork out a load of money on a chair. And then you'd see like the Office Max Deluxe, £180. And you'd be like, whoa, maybe one day I'll get the Office Deluxe. For now, I'll stick with the middle. You go through the whole catalogue, man. And then at Christmas time, you'd go through all the toys, Walkmans, CD players, write all the stupid little barcode numbers down, give it to the parents. Just be like, just saying, anything off this list would be great. Argos is such a weird concept for a store, because this didn't come to light until I tried to explain it to someone who's not English. Because you're like, oh yeah, Argos, it's a catalogue. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we have the catalogues, mail order. And you're like, no, there's a shop. And you're like, oh, like IKEA or something. No, it's a shop that has nothing in it that's in the catalogue. What? You're like, yeah, I know. So you basically get the catalogue, you choose what you want, but then you go to the shop to get it. It's like, okay, why not just have the shop with all the stuff in it like a normal shop, where you can just walk around and look at it and get it? No. You're not allowed to see it until you've bought it. Okay, so how do you get it? Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so you go into the shop, you fill out a little form with a little, like, bookies pen, little tiny blue pen. You take your little betting slip up to the desk, and then it just comes from the back room. Yeah. What's going on, Argos? Where did this concept come from? Have a catalogue, be a catalogue, or be a store. Why am I browsing the catalogue to then come to the store to stand in front of a till and have this thing just appear from nowhere? How big is the warehouse at the back of Argos to have all this stuff in it? They must have one of everything back there. Just have it on a shelf. Let people come and have a walk around. What's with the secrecy? It's a very odd concept, Argos. And then you had like Elizabeth Duke on the side. The Argos jewellers. Yeah. If you're at high school and you got yourself a Mrs. Elizabeth Duke, earrings, bracelets, you name it, you want to jazz yourself up. Or say you want a sovereign. You want a gold chain. Elizabeth Duke, bruv. Get yourself down there. Get yourself a nice set of cubic zirconia diamond effect earrings for yourself. $5.99. Looking fresh on the playground the next day. Not me though, not me. Never had the ears pierced, never gonna get the ears pierced. I got bought a silver necklace by a girl when I was at school. I think it was my 16th birthday. Got a silver chain. And I opened the box and I seen it. And I was like, oh, thanks. Put it on. I was just like, this is not me. Don't like wearing jewellery. Still to this day, I don't wear any jewellery. No rings, no bracelets, no watch, no necklace. And I had to tell her. I was like, look, I really appreciate the gift, but I'm not going to wear that. So I managed to compromise that it was just the wrong like link pattern. So it went back, exchanged it. I think I wore it for a little while, but God knows what happened to it. But yeah, not for me, the jewellery. But yeah, the Argos catalogue, man. You could plan your whole life out of that thing. And then you had like Littlewoods. Littlewoods was like the clothing catalogue. And that was an actual catalogue. You got the thing, it was about a foot It was like so thick. Slam it down on the table, flick through. You know, you're like 11, you know, trying to plan your own outfits and that. Might have a little stop on the lingerie section. Oh. But then you'd just be like, flick through, pick some clothes, and then you order it and it turns up in the post. Catalogue. Come on, Argos. Get your act together. Yeah. So that was my childhood without the internet. Not quite as high tech as the kids today, learning JavaScript and all the other stuff what they're up to. But I think it was a good thing. It was a good thing. You had to go out and learn stuff and do stuff, be creative, make your own fun and all that stuff. And yeah, I suppose it was. We got computers a little bit later on. Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. Never a Sega family, but we still had that early bit where computers weren't a thing. You know, the kids now just born straight into it. Parents' generation was, you know, they were the last real child generation. Kids now have so grown up so fast. Man, I sound so old. Oh my days. I'm just spitting out pure wisdom over here. Because we all saw what happened last time I got hold of some technology when I was young. I made about 400 rap songs, so it's not always good. But right, I think we'll leave it there for this week. I've waffled on enough. Got a guest coming on next week. I'm not going to say who, but I think it's going to be the first female guest on the podcast. So, you know, I'm all about equal opportunities, diversity. I'm your modern man. 21st century man. Keep up, innit? Keep up. Yeah, thanks for listening. The last one, the Rewind Selector, got loads of listens, so if you know anyone who thought they were a rapper when they were younger or used to make beats or anything like that, link them up to it, because I'd love to listen to someone else talk about their young rap days or their young music career. Bit of a stretch. But I've got a load more tunes, different genres. I'm going to do a few more music podcasts. Because I really enjoyed that one. I just don't want to do them too soon because I'm going to run out of tunes. So got a few other things planned. But yeah, all right, cool. Thanks for listening. And I don't know if I'm going to keep saying sayonara. It's becoming a bit of a catchphrase. I don't really want a catchphrase. But ciao bella. Nah, that's fucking rubbish. Sayonara.